and welcome back to TSD Television. I am Bernal Smith, President and Publisher of the new Tri-State Defender, and I just want to welcome you back as our audience, and we have another great show for you today. I have a tremendous guest, someone who's worked diligently in this community with one of our stalwart organizations, Ms. Madeline Taylor. She's the Executive Director of the NAACP here in Memphis, Tennessee, the Memphis chapter, and we're going to have a great conversation today. Ms. Taylor, I want to just welcome you to the show. Thank you for agreeing to be here with us today, and just welcome to the new Tri-State Defender. I know you read our print edition, and now you've got an opportunity to be a part of this new platform. What do you think about it?
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. I do appreciate it. And of course, I've been with the Tri-State Defender for many years. And yes, I am familiar with your digital edition.
Thank you.
I get it on my computer every day.
Good.
In addition to the print edition.
Right.
And we have them available in the office for people who come by on a regular basis to read it.
Right. I've heard about it when we've had, some occasional blip and the paper didn't get there. And those folks who are accustomed to coming by, they let us know.
So they want to read it.
Absolutely, they do. So, but today we really want to focus on the NAACP. It is certainly an organization of significant historical impact, and even today we kind of want to explore some of what the NAACP is doing today to impact our community and some of the priorities. And of course, we just finished up an election where there were some issues on the ballot, and we're gonna we'll get into talking about that. But for some of our viewers who may not be as familiar with the organization, kind of give us sort of a quick overview of the NAACP nationally, but more specifically the Memphis chapter and your priorities.
Okay. Well, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was founded in 1909, and it was founded at that time because of the lynchings that were going on in communities across the South, in the Midwest, in the Northeast, across the country. And black people and white people came together to say this is unacceptable. And they formed an organization to try to address the lynchings across the country. This has gone on. Memphis turned out to be one of the early branches of the NAACP. We were formed in 1917, and we're looking forward to our 100th anniversary in the next couple of years.
Wow, 100 years.
And we were formed because of a lynching that occurred in this city of a black man for no obvious reason. Ida B. Wells, Robert Church came together and said, we've got to do something about that here in Memphis. And they were a part of the founding organization.
Absolutely.
We've been here for about 97 years, working in this community to address the issues that have come before us, primarily as far as discrimination and racial hatred. And that's the foundation of the NAACP. We consider ourselves an advocacy agency.
Okay.
And one thing I try to say, so many times people say, well, what has the NAACP done for me? Well, what did you expect them to do? We are not a food pantry.
Sure.
We're not a clothes closet. What we try to do is to address the agencies that provide these services for you to ensure that you get them as well as everybody else, that you have equal access.
Right.
To all of the services in this community.
Right. Well, that's an interesting point of view, because I've had a number of people in the community, friends and contemporaries, and even individuals younger than me, and they've asked similar questions, not just about the NAACP, but about a lot of our, long-time civil rights organizations, and they ask, well, what's the relevancy of those organizations now? What are they doing now? How are they impacting lives now? How do you respond to that kind of question, line of questioning that kind of comes up, particularly from younger generations in our community?
I have to say that, Bernal, we've done a very poor job in letting our young people know what life is all about. And that is, they don't know our history. They don't know where we've come from. and therefore they don't know what to expect.
Mm.
Their expectation is that if I buy a $30 membership, I can see a show. That's not what we're about.
Right.
When we talk about relevance, we talk about what's happening in Ferguson, Missouri. A young man was shot by a police officer, point blank, without a gun. And now we've got a community in arms. And we need somebody to help us as citizens in that community move forward to determine, is he going to be charged?
Right.
Is he going to be given a fair trial, a truly fair trial, by a fair prosecutor,
right,
and these types of things. And the NAACP is in Ferguson, Missouri, to help that community move through this. I understand there were people there. A lot of people talking to the media, but the people wanted to have parades or marches.
Protests.
Somebody needed to help them organize that, because it doesn't just happen because we walk out on the street. NAACP is there to keep you from getting killed again.
Right.
And that's just a small bit of what we do. In the same sense, we in Memphis were meeting with law enforcement officers in this tri-state community to address what would happen if it was in Memphis.
Right. So that was kind of where you were leading me, because I was thinking, you kind of see what happens when there's a situation that occurs and you see the reaction, but on the proactive side, so that's one of the things that you could point to and say, okay, proactively, the chapters here in Memphis and probably across the country are working from an advocacy standpoint to speak with law enforcement groups and other agencies to ensure that those kinds of things don't happen, to make sure that they, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I mean, you were going down that part. So talk about some of the proactive things that the chapter here is doing and maybe across the country.
Well, we can't always stop it from happening.
Right.
But we have to be there so that we can address it and manage what's happening so that people don't get all hurt.
Right.
And so that justice can prevail.
Sure.
When the crowd takes justice into their own hands, whether it's a white crowd or a black crowd, then we've all lost.
So we're gonna go to a closeout here. We're gonna close out this particular segment. We've got Madeline Taylor, Executive Director of the Memphis chapter of the NAACP, with us. I want to thank her for sharing those thoughts about the organization. We're going to come back with another segment where we're going to talk about the local election that took place and the amendments that were on the ballot and a few other issues about our chapter, of Memphis chapter of the NAACP. So thank you for watching TSD Television, and can continue to watch, tuning in right here, information, inspiration, elevation, TSD Television.